friends, welcome to my FlossTube channel, Needle Love Studio. This is Melissa, and it is Friday, June 11th, I believe, and I am back for a Maynia update to talk about my plans for the month, to talk a little bit about Jolly July, follow up on my giveaway from last video, and to talk about a new one because I'm celebrating 250 subscribers as of yesterday, so that's fantastic. I'm super excited that you all are interested, and thank you so much for all your likes and shares and comments. I really appreciate it. It makes me really, really happy to know that there are other people that appreciate stitching and quilting and the things that I like to do as much as I do. And so again, thank you. I'm excited to be here again. Before I get started too much, I just wanted to talk a little bit. I know that last time I was here, I think I was talking a little bit about coronavirus. Now, of course, we have a considerable amount of civil unrest in the country related to Black Lives Matter and all of the racism and injustice that is felt by people of color. And while I am not out actively protesting or participating in what's going on, I do think that it is an important part of our democratic process that people feel like they can go out and express their First Amendment rights to share their views and to hopefully drive change, and that our children will be able to grow up in a world where racism and all of the negative things that come along with that are a thing of the past. So, but this is a channel about cross stitch, so I really want to jump right into what I have to share today and talk a little bit about it. I hope that if you did Maynia, that you had an excellent month. I did Stitch Sania, and my original intent was to work on whips Monday through Thursday, and then on the weekends I would start a new project. And so I did that pretty much. I didn't start the things that I thought I would start because I just got interested in other things over the course of the month, which is part of my problem. So yeah, so I'm just going to jump right in and talk a little bit about it. So the first thing, one of the whips that I worked on was Nora Corbett. This is the Pink Edwardian house. It's a series of Christmas houses that she has done. I just fell in love with this one as soon as it was released a couple of months ago, and so I am doing it as called for on the called for fabric. Apologize, I was working on it last night as well, and I still have my thread, and I didn't do any ironing, as you can see. But there's a lot of pink on here, and so I tried to go up and down and bring in some other colors, and then started to fill in a little bit so that I could get some solid pieces. It's not going as quickly as I would like. I would be really happy with some more progress on it, but it's pretty. And I really like it. I picked up a couple of the charts that coordinate with it and ordered some fabric. This is a 32 count star sapphire linen from Witchelt, or Witchelt, however you say that, I don't know. And so I think it's really beautiful, and I think as a group they're going to be really, really lovely. So yeah, I roll my fabric when I store it, just to keep it. When I stitch in hand, I roll it. So this helps to just keep it clean and nice. Another one that I started that I wasn't really planning on working on, or planning on starting, but I decided that I would anyway, is another Mirabilia, which if you don't know, Nora Corbett is who designed the pink house, is also the designer for Mirabilia. And every month, on the 15th of the month, a new design comes out. And depending on which month it is, an odd or an even, the even months, Mirabilia pattern comes out, design comes out, and in the odd months, Nora Corbett designs come out. The Nora Corbett tend to be smaller than the Mirabilia. But this is a Mirabilia that came out. This is called The Baker's Wife. I'm not sure how long ago it came out, but I really fell in love with it. It's very French. Obviously, it reminded me of Marie Antoinette. So I fell in love with it, but the color, I wasn't so crazy about the beige and the green. And so my downstairs bedroom is actually gray and yellow in a French theme. And so I thought that I had this fabric in the shop, which is Stormy 32 count Stormy Night, I think it is, from Zweigart. And I wanted to do a conversion. And so I decided that I would try a conversion on this. And like I said, the downstairs bedroom is yellow and gray. And so I went and held up this fabric against the wall to see if it looked good. And then I took the pattern, the chart, to Michael's and looked at the green tones that were called for and tried to match sort of the values and the hues in the yellow family. And so this is what I came up with. I'm not really sure. I'm not really sure how it's going to turn out, but I thought I'd try. I'm hoping that yellow is a little bit bright at the moment. I'm hoping that when I add some of the other shading in, that it will calm down just a little bit. But we'll see. And then because this is going to go in that bedroom, I also am going to do, a couple of months later, the Duchess of Rouen came out, definitely French. She was French. And I think I'm not going to change the colors. I'll change the fabric, but the other has pink roses on it. So I think the pink will balance, and I hope to put them both up in the bedroom. It's really the first time that I am stitching something for a specific spot in my house. I've done a lot of stitching, but it's always just stuff that I find interesting. I don't change colors. I don't pick things for, a space on the wall, even though I have some space on the wall that's empty. So this is kind of the first time of doing that, and we'll see how it goes. I don't know. We'll just have to see. The other one I started, that I said I would start, is the Peacock. And again, this is a Nora Corbett designed for Mirabilia, and it was done for the Pole Stitches retreat last year. And after the retreat, they had some extra kits, and so I was able to purchase a kit, which came with, I think, the fabric and the design, and the beads, I think. I don't think the threads came. But so I worked on this one for a weekend, and I got pretty far. At least you can tell that it's a animal of some sort. Maybe not a peacock, but there's the plume on the head. And I got a lot of the white done. That's what I was working on. I did put a little, I did get started with a little bit of green on here. Not too much, but a little bit. And so, yeah, so I think that's going to be really nice. I'm anxious to get to the tail, but I really tried to stay up here when I was working on it so that I could fill that piece in and then move into the bottom with the tail. So we'll see. We'll see how that works out. I'm sort of stacking stuff over here. A couple of the things I have over here are these. I don't know if you all have seen these boxes, but this was from Christmas time. This was from Joann's. And I use them to store all my floss for particular projects. This happens to be associated with Lady of the Flag. But they're nice because you can leave them out and you don't have to worry about them, looking awful and I don't lose my floss. I have another couple smaller ones here. They also sell them at Michael's, but I like the selection of sizes and shapes and patterns at Joann's better. And so this one is holding, the next whip I'm going to show you, which is the next new start, I guess, is what I would call it, for Princess Ileana. And I don't know what's in here. The baker's wife, I guess. It's got yellows. So yeah. So where am I? Oh, okay. So another one I started then is Princess Ileana. This is Mirabilia's release from April. And this is all of the new DMC colors are included in here, the 1 through 36 or whatever it is. So they're all included in this pattern. And it is really amazing. I worked on this for a weekend. I am I guess a slow stitcher. I've been watching people online finishing these, and they seem to make so much more progress than I do. But this is on the called for purple. I can't remember what it's called, but it's a 32 count purple from Wichelt. It's the called for. Someone finished, I wish I could remember her name, and I'm sorry. She finished this on a color called the Huntress, and it's beautiful. I don't have access to, we don't have a cross stitch shop here in Nashville, and so I'm limited in my fabric choices only to, maybe what I have in my own shop, which is not a lot. Since it's brand new, I don't have a lot. So I don't have a big stash, although I do participate in, and I'll talk about it, I think, in a minute, Crazy Annie's fabric of the month or quarter or whatever, the neutrals. I'm using it on something I started here, and I'll show it to you in a minute. And so yeah, so this is really pretty. I love working on it. The colors are beautiful, but I set it aside because I only wanted to work on it for a weekend. The other thing that I worked on during Maynia, like a crazy woman, is Lady of the Flag. I started Lady of the Flag on July 4th last year, and I'm doing a conversion of it to greens, which to me looks like the bronze and the coppers that she really is. And I'm also going to be changing her hair to red. And so I started this at the beginning of January. I only had 6 stitches in it. And so I worked on it almost obsessively in the month of May because I was trying to get the upper part of the flag done. So everything right here is complete with the exception of the beading. And I just think that it is beautiful. This fabric is from Stitchery Express, Cindy Sorley on Facebook, and it's from Fabric Flair. It's a 28 count We the People. Yeah, I just saw that Olivia from Pumpkin Hollow Quilts just finished Queen of Freedom. I also have that chart. I plan on doing that after I finish Lady of the Flag, and because I think it's beautiful as well. And then I'll put it in my office with all my Daughters of the American Revolution stuff. So I think it's really, really, really beautiful, and I'm really pleased with how it's turning out. So I had one new start, I think. I don't know if you have seen Teresa Kogut, Teresa Kogut's Creative Whims, but she does a lot of punch needle and painting. In any event, she also designs needlework, and so she put out this book at market this year, and I picked it up. I wanted to participate. There's a sew along, so there's a SAL sponsored by Quirks and Stitches for the Teeny Tiny Garden. So it's hashtag Teeny Tiny Garden, no, teeny garden large stash sal, I think it is. And so this is what we're doing, and it's relatively small. I mentioned Crazy Annie's Fabric Club, and I got this piece of Legacy. It's 40 count Legacy from that, and by Picture This Plus, and this is the teeny garden, the progress that I've made. This Legacy has like a green tinge, and so I thought it would go really nicely with the green here, and I'm very, very happy with the way it looks and the way it's coming along. It's taking a long time. Someone in the comments said that I like the big projects, which I do, but I also like small things so I can get them done. However, I've gotten nothing done in May. I said, I was going to finish the hands-on design for May, that I was working on fluffed. No, I haven't got anything. I've been working on these big projects all month long, and and I love them, and so I start working on them and I just don't want to put them down. So so that's my stitching for the month. Not so much variety, but some new things that I really like, and I think that they're going to be really lovely when I finish them. I do have some haul. There is a sew along going on with Diana from Is Kismet Stitches, and I think Michelle Bendy and some others. And it is from Not Forgotten Farm, and it is melancholy, and it says industry is the best cure for melancholy. And I think that's really true right now, is keeping busy. I really like Not Forgotten Farm, and I went crazy when I ordered this because no chart can travel alone. And so I ordered several. I'll show you just the favorites that I have. So here's Feeding the Bees. And I said, pardon the weeds, I'm feeding the bees. I have just put up a fence in my backyard, and I have a really long, my lot is very wide. And so I'm going to put a pollinator garden at the end of the lot to attract bees and butterflies and things. And so I thought that this really spoke to me because of that desire. I really like the frame too. I don't know if that's, oh, bee frame, painted frame available from Not Forgotten Farm. So maybe I'll buy that and do that. I think it's cute. And then this one as well, it says, of female arts in usefulness, the needle far exceeds the rest. And so it's a little cushion. I like the strawberry and her striped dress. In general, I like anything that refers to the history of craft and the work of the needlewoman, and so I think that I really like that. I hope they go quickly. I don't know if they will or not. I don't feel like they will. Nothing ever goes quickly for me. Then just yesterday I got Return of the Whales. It's a Chessie and Me, and it's from the Silver Needle. Silver Needle has a club called With a Little Help from My Friends, I think, and so this came yesterday. I really like it. My family is way back in the whaling days, from Nantucket. And I went there a couple of summers ago to learn about whaling and to see the historic homes. One of the first homes in Nantucket was built not by my family, but the second owners were in the 1600s or 1700s were my ancestors, and so I wanted to go see that house, and it was really interesting to go and do that, to sort of think, this is the way they were living, this is exactly where they were living, and had it not been for them, I wouldn't be here. So I really enjoyed that trip to Nantucket. One of the things that I did the last time I was here was I was having a giveaway for 100 subscribers of Sweetland of Liberty from Blackbird Designs. And Wendy Banta won that giveaway. And so Wendy, I will comment on your comment. And then if you can send me your address, I will get it out in the mail to you so that hopefully you can have it in time to stitch something nice for summer. But I also wanted to do another giveaway because, gosh, I've got 250 subscribers and it seems like a milestone to do it. And we're going to be entering Jolly July. If you don't know what Jolly July is, it was started by Priscilla and Chelsea of Stitching with the Housewives and Kimberly Jolly of Fat Quarter Shop. And the idea is that you're celebrating Christmas in July by stitching ornaments or Christmas designs or whatever, but related to the holidays. And so this year at Nashville Needlework Market, because No Chart can go alone, and I was purchasing something from Teresa Kogut, I also picked up this one. And this year at Needlework Market, she released a new line called CW Samplers, and this one happens to be called Heaven and Nature, and it's got a couple of Christmas trees and the red house. And so I've decided that this is the one that I'm going to start in Jolly July. So I'm going to work on Nora Corbett, the pink holiday house, the pink Edwardian house. And then I'm also going to do this one. And so I thought that it might be nice to give it away, give a copy away. It's down on 40 count parchment. I don't think I have any 40 count, but I have 36 count. And it's done primarily with Reeks Dye Works, but also has some DMC and some Classic Colorworks. So I think it's going to be beautiful. I love Christmas. My family loves Christmas. I don't have any Christmas stitching really at all. So I think that will be interesting. I just have to stick with it. These little motifs, I have a hard time, like, I don't know, when they're little thing, I get a little funny. So, but anyway, tell me in the comments what your favorite thing about the holidays is. And I'll do a giveaway in the next few weeks, hopefully, so that you can get this in time to maybe start in Jolly July as well. So I think that about covers everything that I have for cross stitch. I've been also busy, started a new project. I started quilting a couple of years ago when I was living overseas. And when I got back from my last post, I bought a embroidery machine. And so I started this week. This is a quilt. These are 18-inch blocks. It's from a company called Meaning of Life Designs, and it's a block a month, and they each have a different border. And then you do quilting. So you can see I started the quilting up here on the corners. So I've got the quilting on the corners done. And yeah, so it's giant. Wow, it is big. Look at that. Oh, there we go. And this fabric is from Moda. It's Grunge by Moda. And each of these blocks has a centerpiece, a house or some sort of a building that goes in the middle. And so the first month was this little house. I finished this morning actually. So I've just got to finish the edging and attach it in the middle after I finish the quilting. This took about 4 hours. So again, they're big projects. They don't go fast. But yeah, it was really fun. It's really, I've learned so much from this process, and I would highly recommend it if you have any interest. She does 3 formats. There's a hand applique, so if you wanted to to do this all by hand, she has all the patterns and the instructions and everything. There's a sewing version, which is just doing it on your regular sewing machine, which that's a lot of sort of zigzag stitch around the edging, and I've done that in the past. And then you have the machine embroidery applique version, which is where you actually have an embroidery machine and you cut out the pieces and you put the pieces down, and the machine does the sewing for you around the piece. And all you do is change the threads and hit the button, and it goes pretty, it's not so fast, but it's easier than I think doing it otherwise. So anyway, yeah, I hope you have a great weekend, many good stitching days. The weather is turned here in Nashville. It's gotten really hot. I hope this week it's going to be a little bit cooler, but it's not been raining as much as it was, so it's nice. And yeah, so I hope to see you soon. Thanks for joining me. I really appreciate it again, and yeah, I'll see you soon. Thanks, bye.